Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Griever back here, bringing you guys another chapter review for chapter 204 of Akatsuki no Yona, also known as, and sing it with me, ladies and gentlemen, Yona of the Dawn. Yona of the Dawn, chapter 204. Now, this chapter, honestly, it was just fun. It was a fun chapter. Like, nothing major actually happened in this chapter, really. I mean, we had some added reveals. Something that I wanted to bring up right before I forget, though, is at the beginning of the chapter, I believe this is the first time we've had the continuation of this moment. This is confirming. I don't believe we've seen this scene again, is the consistency of Il telling Su-won that girl is the reincarnation of the Crimson Dragon King. We've seen that scene multiple times, but now it appears that that was the last thing he said right before he was killed by Su-won. Because then we now get the continuation. It is not you. I don't believe we had this information before. I could be wrong, guys. This could have been a reveal earlier on or something, but I don't remember that being a reveal yet. So that was like the big thing for me. That was like the, wow, okay, this is what we're doing, right? So I actually really enjoyed that aspect of this, because now we have this constant scene that we've seen throughout the arcs, throughout the series, this memory scene that is slowly now evolving into more and more and more. Sort of like what the flashback arc was supposed to do, but now we're seeing it here and it's being done, it's being handled very well. It is not you. You are not the Crimson Dragon King sort of idea. And now Su-won is continuing this stuff, because this is leaving off with the conversation with Mei, between Su-won, and he's basically like, you're denying my offer? And he's like, well, yeah, like, I'm sorry, I have no need, I'm fed up with everything. Yes, my illness sucks, but Yona and the dragons and all that, I have no need of them. I'm fed up with them. And this is hard, of course, for Yona to hear necessarily, because he's speaking the truth. Like, he's fed up with it all. Why were they even born? He doesn't outright say it to her, but basically he knows, he believes at the very least that Il was correct and Yona is the reincarnation of the Crimson Dragon King. Look no further than the 4 dragons. But he goes, why were they born? Why are they here now? Like, they're not here, like, the kingdom is secure, I've secured the kingdom, I've done this, I've saved the kingdom pretty much. It's like, in his mind, he's like, why are they here now? Why were they born? He has no answers to this, but he's done worrying about it. It's got zero to do with him. He goes, yes, my illness is a nuisance and nothing more, however. I am just blown away by how silly, like, he doesn't believe in myths and legends and religions and stuff. That's not him. He believes in people, the good of people in the present here and now, regardless where they come from. And that is Su-won's stance. It's not an evil stance. It's actually a good stance, where he's like, it doesn't matter where you were born or who you're supposed to be or what bloodline you have. The idea is that you need to trust the people, the good people that are there in the here and now, in the present. You can only fix things in the present with the present available people, right? So Su-won's mentality here is sound as hell, and she can't understand. She's like, it's just silly, it's new, it's like and he says it clearly. He said, your feelings of this being unfair are completely different from my feelings of I'm just fed up with this. It's silly. It's not something that goes in this mind of mine. Like, it's something that I've made peace with a long time ago. It's just the illness is a bitch, and that's it. You know, I don't concern myself with the dragons. I don't concern myself with the reincarnation and the Crimson Dragon King and all this crap. So she gets very concerned, though. And I was surprised at the way that, not the direction this took, but that Yona and jae-ha revealed themselves so quickly. I mean, then again, it does make sense. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't make sense, but I did not expect them to reveal themselves during this conversation. I felt like this would be handled in a far different manner at the end of chapter 203. But now here in chapter 204, we get the fact that she's not stupid, and she realizes, well, since you declined my offer, you can't really let me go back to South Kai, can you? And she's like, and then Ki-sok shows up with Hiyori, and they're just like, yeah, so we're going to end this now, sort of idea. And that's when Hyori does not give a shit about anything. He's just like, yep, kill, because he's an asshole. And then jae-ha ends up stopping him from delivering a blow to Mei. Of course, like leg, sword, bang, it's epic. But even jae-ha goes, damn, he's fast. Like, he was like, oh shit. So, and it's concerning here because it seems like we didn't see a certain altercation that happened after the fact. I'll get into that in a minute. But because from that one attack, his leg was being bandaged up later, and it doesn't seem like that did anything. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But pretty much this is where Yona also jumps out of the bushes and says, look, you can't kill her, you can't do this, you can't do that and stuff. And Su-won, of course, in his usual distant, it's no concern of yours. And Yona's fed up with this shit. She's like, look at me. That thing that David Radcliffe did with Dumbledore and look at me. Or it was Dark Knight, the Joker, with the whole look at me. Look at me. And I was just like, okay. Yona taking charge. She grabs him, goes at him, and is like, look at me. When you're speaking to me, you look me in the eye and you tell me what you're thinking. I'm fed up with this shit. And I was like, damn, Yona. Okay. See, once again, I'm so worried about being like pro Yona again because I feel like the mangaka might then sweep the rug under my feet again and make her a shitty character for one chapter and then have her back to being a badass again. I've been burned too much in this arc to be completely 100%, yes, this is Yona, we knew she would do this is fantastic. I'm still a little hesitant. I'm 99% invested. I got that 1% of doubt. I'm not giving them back that 1% of doubt until the end of this arc. I'm just saying. But because we're at this stage, Yona is going through and she's just like, look at me. If you're fed up with me, if you don't care about me, I don't care, but you look me in the eye and say it. And so, Su-won's like taken aback, but then he's like, he swallows his, this does not concern you. And she's like, all right, now that you're speaking to me, let's talk about this. It's like, she is a mistress of the emperor. This is a terrible idea. It's a more terrible idea to let her go. And she's like, yeah, but her feelings and her resentment and stuff, she's in the same boat. And I didn't even make this connection when I was reading through this. That she is literally, like, it was brought up in the comment section for chapter 203 in my comment section. You guys are amazing. But it was brought to my attention that her feelings are similar to yon-hi's, and I made that slight connection. But even here, it's amazing that in verse, Yona has already made that connection. And clearly, Su-won does not know. Now he does. But he did not know that yon-hi, the journal, that Yona read the journal. Now he knows. Now he has to know for sure. Su-won's not stupid. He'll put two and two together. It's like she was held up in the study, the library, what have you. That's where she would have read it. So now he knows because I haven't seen Su-won's eyes this shocked for like 75 chapters. So the dude is literally shocked as hell, right? I mean, I suppose you could argue that, in chapter 203, like, I know your secret, you have the Crimson Dragon Illness, but that was sort of a fleeting moment. This one is going to need some conversation to happen, right? Unfortunately, by the looks of it also, what happens later on, we're not going to get the Hawk and Su-won conversation that we desperately need. That takes a point away from this chapter because this chapter pretty much confirms that we're not going to get that in more ways than one, but unfortunately, that's just the way it is. So, at the end of this, what ends up happening is, of course, Yona continues to tell Su-won, like, this is the way, like, your mother, basically, Lady yon-hi, like, this is the way she felt, and this is the way she suffered and stuff, and he's really shocked by this. But they have this moment where there's sort of, like, just sort of silence and stuff like that, and it might have evolved into more, but then Mei took the opportunity to run. She ran. She lost her squirrel, Hon? Something like that. Lost the little, sparky looking squirrel and on the bushes and ran away, but Hyori gave chase. They didn't kill her, they incapacitated her, they confined her, they put her in the dungeon, etc., and they're trying to make up an excuse. Then we get over to the thing. So this is where they sort of discuss this, but pretty much jae-ha stopped Hyo-ri from executing her, and they made this sort of deal. We see this off screen, like she's running away, I'm going to be killed, she runs, she loses her squirrel, and then we jump over to the aftermath, that she's locked up and etc. The issue I have here is that clearly that jae-ha had more scrapes, and I don't know why they would hide this. Maybe they're just trying to speed the pacing along. I'm going to assume that nothing actually eventful happened here. Hyo-ri and jae-ha continued to clash with the whole I will guard a defenseless woman, you hitting a defenseless woman, that's just not me. Give her a sword at the very least sort of idea, right? And so jae-ha clearly clashed more than what we saw in this interim when Mei was running and stuff, and then they clearly reached a stalemate or something like that, because jae-ha is now being bandaged up from his leg, and that one attack could not have, I refuse to believe that one attack that we saw actually made it so his leg is in bad shape and he needs to see Yon. No, he continued to fight against Hyo-ri after they all gave chase to Mei, and we just didn't see it off screen. And of course this guy might not have overwhelmed jae-ha, but clearly fought him to a point that jae-ha's leg needs some healing, needs some mending, because this dude is strong as fuck. We've always known that this bodyguard guy is strong as hell. So, that being the case, after this, Zeno, we get our boy Zeno, we get Zeno. Yes, I'm so happy that we get Zeno. Zeno basically explains how something that we've sort of brought up in chapter 203, that Mei might not, like, has she been treated unfairly? You could argue that, sure, but she also does not. Zeno does the basically, you can't judge someone, you need to walk a mile in their shoes sort of mentality. Zeno's basically doing that in the most basic of ways, saying, like, you have also suffered, miss. Like, little miss. You have suffered as well. And she doesn't realize that. And so, it's easy for her to say that you don't deserve us, you don't deserve our power, you don't deserve what you've gotten, you don't deserve Hawk, whatever, but because her life was unfair, and I'm not arguing that her life was unfair, but she doesn't understand what you've gone through and what your tribulations and trials and suffering has been. It's not fair of her to have this opinion without knowing all that first. If you don't have the information on both sides, if you have a coin, you've got heads, and you never try to understand tails, how can you know who was right and who was wrong, right? So you always need to go in the gray area. You always need to meet everybody halfway and figure out what the true story of, tails is, what the true story of heads is, right? You always need to do that. So I firmly believe that Zeno is just speaking the facts here, and I hope that they're going to have a later on conversation, because apparently the squirrel showed up with Ao, so now they're like, should we bring her to Mei? Should we, do something about this? And then we see Mei in the dungeon tricking. Of course, she was implied to be a general back in chapter 203, that she was a former general. So she knows her way around a sword. She plays the damsel in distress. Oh, could you massage me, please, young guard? Smack, whacks her. It's implied here that she actually straight up killed people. Because she takes the sword from the guard. She might not have killed the guard, but then there's 4 other guards staying stationed with Hawk, and she's like, God damn it, 4 guards. Like, why? It's like, because it's fucking Hawk. And 4 guards against Hawk. Really? Hawk could literally, just kick down the door and just walk in and be like, oh, you got 4 swords. That's cute. Whack. And just be done. So 4 guards. Are you kidding me? But, so she's like, why so heavy? 4 guards. And then we hear Hawk. She straight up killed people, though. We're not going to glance over that. She straight up killed people, okay? Because now the 4 guards are down, they're bloodied. At the very least, they're injured or whatever. They're probably, somebody died there. So she straight up killed people. So yeah, that's a thing. And then she hears Hawk counting. 6,640, 6,641, 6,642, and he's literally doing sit-ups. 6,000 plus sit-ups. The dude is training while in the cell. It feels like Luffy in the Udon prison sort of shit. This dude never stops training. He's just training for the sake. He's like, yeah, Hyo-ri, he's pretty strong. Time to train. I'm not losing. I'm the Thunder Beast. I'm the strongest warrior. Even Zeno doesn't want to fight me. Like, that's the thing. I'm sorry. Once again, Zeno does not want to fight the Mister. Zeno can't die. Zeno gets stronger the more times you cut him. Zeno does not want to fight Hawk. That should give a perfect interpretation. That should explain it all right there. That Hawk is the most dangerous, scary dude in the whole series. He's the strongest character, bar none, because... Now, I'm a Hawk fanboy, of course, but I'm also a Zeno fanboy. But Zeno himself is scared to fight Hawk when he can't be killed. But he's just like, yeah, no, the Mister's scary. I don't want to fight him. Like, there you go. And here we have him just training away his days in the cell. And he's like, huh? Who the hell are you? And he's like, oh, great, a weirdo. And then that's the end of the chapter. So I found the chapter was sort of fun, as I said at the beginning of the review. I found it fun. I really did. I don't know how you guys interpreted it, but I found it actually kind of fun. Because we got these scenes with the dragons and Yona and Zeno. Then we got the hilarity of Hawk just doing like 6,000 sit-ups just because he can. He's got nothing better to do. It was a lot of fun. There wasn't really, as I said, other than the beginning of the chapter, the reveal that Su-won has clearly figured out that now that Yona has read yon-hi's journal. And also that we got a continuation. As I said, I don't think we had that before. That he told Su-won, she is the reincarnation of the Crimson Dragon King. It's not you. So, curious, maybe he at one time wanted, though when we saw him young, it wasn't a thing, but now, like, I don't know. Maybe he thought, like, I have the blood of the dragons. I can be king, and this is all a birthright. But that goes against everything we saw him as a young boy in the flashback and etc. in yon-hi's diary and all that stuff. So, I don't know, but it's curious that Il would say that to him. But now we've seen the continuation of that scene that we've known for so long is really interesting, actually. So, I thought the chapter was really good. I think the pacing has sped up a little bit because, as I said, we didn't even see the clash. We're just, oh, yeah. So, they didn't decide to kill her. Jae-ha is now injured. And, yeah, forget all that. We're moving on. And it's like, all right. So, but yeah, okay. So, that's the end of the chapter. As I said, I thought the chapter was really good. Yeah, I got nothing more to say, but I'm sure that I'll have comments explaining away certain things and telling me what you guys thought. Let me know what you guys thought of the chapter. I thought it was a good chapter. I'm looking forward to chapter 205. Like, comment, and subscribe as always. And don't forget, we're getting 500 subscribers in the month of March. Not 3, not 4, but 500 subscribers. Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. 500 subscribers. So, that being said, like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to drink responsibly, as always. And we'll see you back here next time for chapter 205 of Yona of the Dawn. I sort of did the thing here before I stopped singing. Anyways, that's not the point. All right, guys. We'll see you back here next time. Peace out.